Hi, welcome to episode 362 of your favorite daily podcast, a couple of things, a podcast about things. Today, I'm going to talk about being in the trenches or feeling like you're in the trenches and how we can navigate that. And I'm going to be talking from the point of view of, you may have guessed it if you've been listening to the podcast, my toothache. Let's go. You know how sometimes you're in a really difficult situation? Oh no, before I go into today's episode, it feels like you guys haven't heard my voice alone on the podcast in a while because everybody wanted to do guest episode. Since I've been begging everybody, come and do guest episode. But nobody answered me. But here we are. Anyway, so sometimes it feels like you might be in the trenches and things are going really badly and you can't seem to remember a time where you were not in the trenches. And this is exactly the situation with when I did my tooth extraction. So I didn't have like an infection or anything. My wisdom tooth was growing in a weird direction. It wasn't going like straight up and normal, and it was affecting the tooth beside it. And so they were like, you have to take it out because it's going to cause problems for you. Well, they said I should feel it, but I was like, no. Initially I wanted to feel it, but then I was like, well, just take it out. But anyway, and you guys, for the days after, I really couldn't remember a time where that part of my face wasn't hurting. Like, I don't like taking meds. My friend, even when I was telling my friend that, I had to take painkillers, she was like, wow, you must have been in a lot of pain because you don't take meds. Like, I don't like taking meds. Yeah, I was popping ibuprofen like crazy. And like for like 5-6 days a week, I was just feeling pain it was like I could not remember a time where that side of my face wasn't hurting, where I could sleep without taking painkillers. I could not. It was like it had been years. Maybe this was just 6 days, but it felt like it had been decades since I was pain free, for lack of a better way of saying it. And just as suddenly as it started, because like I was fine, I had to take out my tooth, and then I was in pain, and just as suddenly as it started, I just woke up one day and I didn't take my painkillers. And throughout the rest of the day, I didn't need to, because before that day, like maybe like a day or two before the day I woke up and I was like, I don't need to take these painkillers anymore. Before that day, there were like maybe 1 or 2 days where in the morning I'll feel a bit fine, but then as we closer to the afternoon, I will start to feel the pain like really strongly, and I will have to take the painkillers. But then there was just one day I just woke up and the whole day went by and I hadn't had to take painkillers. I don't know if what I just said was grammatically correct, but you take it like that. I didn't have to take painkillers. Like a whole day ended, the next day also passed, still no need to take painkillers. I still felt a bit of discomfort, but it was nothing, like it wasn't pain. I was fine. I just felt a bit uncomfortable, and I was just like, wow, because just because of that 1 week or so, 1 week plus of pain, I'm not joking when I say that I couldn't remember what it felt like to not have that pain. It felt like I had always had it, and I couldn't like picture not having it. I was just I know you guys understand what I'm saying. And it just made me realize that there are lots of times in our lives where we feel like we're in this situation that feels like it's never going to end. And you guys, if you've been here a while, you know that 2022, 2023 were not the easiest years for me. And it felt the exact same way. It was like I can't remember a time where everything wasn't this hard. And is it ever not going to be hard? God, I really went through it. And the fact that I can talk about 2022 and 2023 without bursting into tears, thank you, Jesus. But anyway, it just made me realize again that nothing terrible actually lasts forever. There's always an end point. You don't know when the end point is going to be. And I remember there's something that Dr. S02E362 said when I was on a webinar that she had once, and she said, was it Instagram reel? I don't know. She said, I saw her say something somewhere, and she said that the day that your life changes starts like any other day. So, and I'm going to remix that and say the day that it gets better starts like any other day. The day that the pain stops starts like any other day. The day that it feels less hard starts like any other day. You just have to believe that that day is going to come. You just have to like keep moving and keep, even though it seems so impossible, because the only thing you can see is the pain and the stress and the hardness and the everything. You just have to keep going, because the day that it changes, the day that it becomes different, it literally starts like any other day. It starts like the day before, where it was really painful and you couldn't sleep because of the pain. It starts like the day where you cried yourself to sleep. It starts like every other day. But the day that it changes, it just changes, and you can't even, not that you can't remember the pain, because bro, I can never forget the kind of pain I went through this the past week, of the week where I was in the trenches of this post extraction removal pain, whatever. God, I can't even speak English. The pain was too much. I can't forget it, and I cannot forget how hard 2022 and 2023 were, especially. But it changes. It does get better. It may take a long time. It may be 7 days, like a post-tooth extraction pain. It may be 2 years. It may be 5. But it does get better. And I guess this episode is not about being in trenches. I guess this episode is more about just knowing that tough time never lasts. Tough people do. I don't know where to end this, but yeah. I hope, especially now that year's ending and everybody's in like reflective mood and like, oh, what did you achieve? What did you do? Blah, blah, blah. Again, as somebody who went through 2022 and 2023, it's fine. It is totally fine to not have a long list of record-breaking achievements and winning awards and all these kinds of things. It's totally okay, because what matters is that you showed up today again in the best way that you could, and tomorrow you do it again, and the day after, and the day after, and it does get better. So with that, Merry Christmas. We're still in Christmas season spirit, and it's almost a new year, so Happy New Year. And thank you for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.